Today I thought I'd talk about this ring. I have a really cute coworker. Her name is Laura, and she was like, Christina, why don't you talk about our green diamond? Because J-Lo just got engaged with a green diamond. Ooh. Okay, so yes, Jennifer Lopez got engaged recently, for the most recent time, and was given a really beautiful green diamond. And I thought it's a good idea to talk about it because it's hard to understand how rare that kind of stone is. So diamonds, as we think of them, come out of the earth. They're naturally extremely rare. Don't listen to the BS. They're very uncommon, very special. Then to get a diamond that's clean enough that you actually want to facet it and put it into a piece of jewelry, even rarer, right? Well, in the world of diamonds, when you get really white or very high in the colorless scale, they also are extremely rare, even rarer, right? And then on the opposite end, as the color gets more saturated and you get into something that we call fancy colored diamonds, also extremely rare. In the world of fancy colored diamonds, they're, so you're gonna have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, right? Like you would expect. I can't remember how many designations there are. There's maybe like a dozen or something. Then they also do saturations of the color. So let's say you have a green diamond and it starts with faint, which means that it's just a tinge, which is what normally in diamonds is going to be yellow, brown, or gray, most commonly yellow. So to have green is unusual anyway. And then you add on to it the depth of the color, the intensity of the color. So you're going to go, after the letter Z, you go into the fancy designations. You go light fancy, fancy, intense fancy, vivid. And then there's many permutations through that. Like, it's actually hard for me to sum it up for you guys because it's just, there's so much in there. But to have a green diamond is extremely rare, and green diamonds are very famous. But the rarest is red. You'll almost never see a red diamond. They're extremely extraordinary, like museum kind of things. And frankly, I don't know how beautiful they are. Pinks, I've seen plenty of pinks that are beautiful, and I've seen plenty of yellows that are spectacular, but sometimes novelty is not beauty, right? So in the case of a green diamond, particularly the one Jennifer Lopez is wearing, the color is, I can't tell how real it is. I'm sure in person it's spectacular, but the color looks like almost like a kiwi or something. It's a really pretty shade of green. Not all greens are the same. This one I have right here, wait a second, I looked up the report because I couldn't remember. It's called a fancy light yellowish green. So it's a 3-carat radiant. It's really hard to see. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's surrounded with like a Bombay kind of design that are all very white diamonds, and then it has this fancy light yellowish green in the middle. Well, the green is the color of the stone, and then the yellow is the modifier to the color. So if it was straight up green, it'd be even more expensive. If it was a vivid green, it'd be crazy expensive, and we'd be looking at it for somebody like Jennifer Lopez. As it is, it has the modifier, which is yellow, which makes it slightly more common, and it's not super saturated color. When you look at it, you probably think, wow, it just looks white to me. But if you see it in person, you see this faint green. Well, where do green diamonds get their color from? They get their color from irradiation or strain in the crystal structure. And it tends to be on the surface. When the cutter has to facet the stone, he has to leave that little bit of green there so that the color actually disperses through the stone. I'm not explaining that but as well as somebody else can, but I'm trying to cover a lot of ground here. So anyway, green diamonds, they're very hard to tell if it's natural or if it's a man-made treatment. That's why provenance and the origin of the stone becomes super important. For example, this diamond, I have the original paperwork of when it was purchased and who sold it, and it all makes sense, and it makes me feel very comfortable when the GIA came back and said it's a light fancy yellowish green, whatever. I can take that and I feel like it is natural. It is not man-made.